Hi everyone, it's me Joe. I've made the most stupid mistake ever today. I've been filming without switching my external microphone on. My whole videos, and I've just filmed two, including this Barbie tutorial, are sadly now without volume. So I'm going to narrate through the whole thing. I'm really sorry, I feel a bit stupid about it, but hey, these things happen. Alright guys, well this is a Barbie inspired tutorial. It was inspired by the original Nicki Minaj Barbie look I did on JH Cosmetics when I first started YouTube, and I really wanted to do it. So I really hope you love it. It was really fun to do, and if you have any questions, find me on Facebook after. So let's begin with the skin today, and the foundation I'm using is actually one of my old school favourites. I used to wear this all the time when I was younger, and it's Double Wear Foundation. I'm so happy they brought out 1C1 Shell. Well, I think it's called OC1 Shell now, but they discontinued it for a hot minute for some unbeknown reason. Using Dermacolor under the eyes, just as a concealer, and setting it through with Dermacolor powder. I do try and add all the names of the products in the description now. So I'm using my NARS Yachio brush and Nymph by Illamasqua blush, and I'm just swirling that into the cheeks with a shimmer fan brush. Now I'm using this, it's an eye crayon pencil by Illamasqua. I've got no idea what the colour is, unfortunately. I'll add that to the description as well. Now I'm using this kind of as a guideline because with Barbie we want to draw in an artificial crease. So if we get the colour in as an eyeshadow base to begin with, we can also use it as a base later. So I smudge it through and I stipple Nymph and a little bit of a darker blush by Illamasqua. Again, I want it below, just on top, so we get a graduation. It doesn't need to be perfect right now, it could be quite crude. Using a dark Dermacolor concealer, I'm using a tiny little angle brush, and I'm using it from the nose contour, and I'm dragging it in a very delicate kind of painterly motion up. This is how I get a consistent line. When you're starting though, it's easier just to go freehand and just draw a consistent straight line. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I kind of graduate it as we go, but I think it's easier to do it in one consistent line if you are starting. So using Bioderma on a Q-tip, I'm erasing the pink that was kind of underneath the line. Skin based in white as an eyeshadow base. Now I'm using a mixture of Gesso eyeshadow by MAC and Crystal Avalanche eyeshadow by MAC. So we get a white, kind of not hugely shimmery, just a little bit of a satiny sparkle on the lid. I quite like these products in combination as opposed to on their own. I think they come across a little bit insipid on their own. So now we're using the concealer again under the eye in a similar doll-like fashion. We're just extending the shape of the eye. We're tilting it up slightly. So we're leaving a gap right near the tear duct, and we're dragging it up under the lower lashes. So they look thicker and the eye is tilted slightly. Now for the brows today, I used Espresso eyeshadow, which is again another one of my favourite MACs. And we're using Dermacolor concealers to sharpen the angle off. It's quite nice to cut back in with an eyeshadow because you can also use this as a highlight, and it really brings out the brow bone shape. Now the pen liner I'm using I found on eBay. It's one of these wonderful Asian products. I noticed a lot when I was in Tokyo that the Asian pen liners don't tend to transfer, which is a huge benefit for me because I have really hooded eyes. So they're great, but once you do actually go over them and they dry, they tend to take themselves up in a similar way that a marker pen does on a whiteboard. So what I do is I get the basic shape on first, and then I use Scandaleyes liner over the top, which is a little bit blacker, and it likes to sit on top of this one quite well. It doesn't tend to fade either, which I'm quite happy about. Now the shape I want is elevated cat-like, so I want it to lift the eye up, but also be a consistent graduation, getting thicker as we go along the lash. And also we want it to extend past the crease we've drawn. So we're using Scandaleyes mascara in black to blacken up the lashes, ready for falsies. Now I did skip the step of applying falsies because I have a tutorial specifically for that. I added some spiky ones that I got in an eBay pack, and they're quite lovely. I added one on each eye, but then I cut one in half and added them on the wings. So there's a stack on the outside. We're using that colour by Illamasqua again, and my favourite new lipstick, the Great Pink Planet by Limecrone, which is amazing. Now we're blending out the sides with concealer to sharpen the edges, and we're pretty much done. Now, which coloured hair do you like the best for me? I'm going to argue about hair. I love the red. I love my real hair, which is now currently brown. I love the blonde, but I think the blonde doesn't give me as much of a border, and I've just got black, so the black's cute too. Hope you enjoy. Alright everyone, so this is the finished look. I've just said this a minute ago, but hey, I'm going to say it again because I'm really annoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed that tutorial. It was really fun to do. If you have any more questions, find me on Facebook. Head over on my Facebook page and hit like. And I will see you all in my next video.